Matt, Aaron, and I grew up like brothers. Matt was the wild one and the prankster. Aaron was a bit more reserved, usually following Matt's lead. I was the quiet follower, rarely speaking up. That's how I ended up here. We were all 15 when everything unraveled. Matt was tall and strong, with blonde hair and blue eyes. Aaron was the shortest, average build, with black hair and brown eyes. I was the skinny kid, brown hair and green eyes. Matt and Aaron had been plotting for a while and even told me about it, but I wasn't involved. I was away with my parents. Matt drilled a hole in the wall between the girls' locker room and an old closet, and using Aaron's video camera, recorded several hours of footage. As the king of pranks, Matt had outdone himself. The tape became a hot commodity among the boys, and Matt started selling copies. But one parent found a copy and played it. Seeing high school girls in compromising situations sparked an immediate investigation. Within hours, Matt, Aaron, and I were called into separate rooms. The truth came out quickly. Our parents were called, and soon it became clear who did what. The police got involved. Matt and Aaron faced charges like breaking and entering, peeping, distributing illicit material, and destruction of school property. Since I hadn't helped with the recording or selling, most charges against me were dropped. But my nightmare was just beginning. Matt's family made a deal. He was sent to a strict military school on probation until he was 21. Aaron wasn't allowed at our school anymore, so his parents sent him to another school out of state for an attitude adjustment. I thought I'd get a warning at worst since I was with my parents at the time. But my dad was furious, not for what I did, but for what I didn't do. He and my mom had a different punishment planned. The drive home was silent, and I knew it was best to stay quiet. When we arrived, my dad told me to sit in a chair across from them. Neither spoke for a moment, then he explained my punishment. Since you like looking at girls without their permission, you're going to get the chance to experience it differently, Peg. My mom held 2 pieces of paper. I wrote these last night. I printed copies and deleted the file from the computer. I'll read it to you now. From now on, for at least 1 year, you will dress and act like a girl your age. You will follow the same house rules as any girl your age. We may extend this period if you break any rules. You will attend your school, but as a girl. We will make sure you look like a girl your age to prevent this from happening again. After 1 year, if we believe you've learned your lesson, you may return to being a boy. Do you understand all of this? I was stunned. They wanted me to dress as a girl. Mom. No arguments, Ethan. You'll spend at least a year as a girl. The question is, do you understand the rules? She handed me a copy. Reading it, a sinking feeling grew in my stomach. But I didn't do anything. You knew what Matt and Aaron were doing and stayed silent. That makes you guilty too. Now you'll pay. Her voice was harsh, but my dad sounded calm. Did you watch the tape, Ethan? We had all seen it together. Yes, sir. So you knew about the tape and said nothing? Yes, sir. Then he smiled faintly. Son, all boys your age are curious about girls. I get that. But this was wrong, and you knew it then and now. We believe dressing you as a girl will help you understand the shame those girls felt. Trust me, you're getting off easy compared to Matt and Aaron. You'll sign and date these papers to show you understand. We'll all sign copies, and you'll keep one. If you refuse, you'll still dress as a girl, but a 5-year-old girl instead. For the first 2 months, you won't be allowed to wear pants unless the weather demands it and your mom agrees. Now, sign the paper, Ethan. I reread the rules, then, with no choice, signed. I want you to go to your room and empty your closet, everything, Ethan. Posters, clothes, toys, everything. Put it all in those boxes. I'll check on you in a few hours. Dad's voice was rough again as I headed to my room. Boxes were scattered everywhere, and deep down I knew my life was about to change completely. Then an idea struck me. I slipped a pair of jeans and a shirt under the mattress and began packing the rest. When Mom came to inspect, she searched the closet, dresser, shelves, and then under the mattress. I'm disappointed, Ethan. Not even a few hours in, and you're already trying to cheat. I think a 2-month extension is in order, don't you? 2 more months over a year as a girl, and I hadn't even seen any girl's clothes yet. Under her watchful eye, Dad and I carried all the boxes to the shed, where he locked them tight. Back to your room, Ethan. It's time to begin. I sighed deeply and followed Mom back. Please undress, Ethan. Completely. Mom. Now. I obeyed, standing unclothed before her for the first time since childhood. Without warning, she began applying hair removal cream everywhere, even my groin. You'll be out of school until next Monday, plenty of time to get ready. Following her instructions, I showered, shaved, and washed my hair. With her watching, I dried off while she dusted my body with a sweet powder. You have an appointment at 2, Ethan. Plenty of time. Relax, maybe you'll like this. I doubted it, but I had no choice. She handed me panties to wear. Eager to cover myself, I slipped them on and was led to her room, sitting at her vanity. I watched as she applied foundation, eyeshadow, eyeliner, and blush. My hair was brushed back and tied high into a ponytail with a pink elastic. This is temporary, Ethan. Don't worry. I wasn't worried, I was terrified. Next came a bra, new, plain white, 36A with hooks in the back. Mom helped me put it on and stuffed the cups with rolled-up nylons. Then pantyhose, which she showed me how to pull on, followed by a slip over my head and a short red dress. The dress was mid-thigh length with a flared skirt and round neckline. New black flats completed the outfit perfectly. Put on your lipstick, Ethan, Mom said, handing me a bright red tube. We have plenty of time before your appointment. Are you hungry? I nodded and followed her to the kitchen. Dad was nowhere to be seen, and we both ate sandwiches. Time to go. Mom sounded far too cheerful, and I stayed frozen in my seat, afraid to leave. Want to add another 2 months? No. Well, I got up and got in the car. She drove me to a small clinic I recognized. It belonged to Aaron's dad, a gynecologist. Let's go, Ethan. Mom took my hand, and as we entered, she told the nurse, Ethan Grant has an appointment. The other women giggled, which startled me. A different doctor came in. Please undress, Ethan. Mom helped me, then the doctor asked her to leave. He examined me and gave me a shot in the arm. When I woke, I was at home in my bed, but the entire room had been painted pink and white. The sheets had lace trim, and dolls from around the world sat on the shelves. I sat up and instantly felt a new weight on my chest. My hand reached out, touching a chest. Looking down, I saw I had chests now. Lifting the covers, I noticed bandages on my inner thighs and started crying. Mom came in and sat beside me. Remember rule number 5? We promised you'd look like a girl your age, and now you do. You can see the body of a 15-year-old girl whenever you want, Ethan. Did they? I still have a no, and yes, Ethan. You still have it, but it's non-functional now. You look like a girl, and you have the same needs as one. But don't worry, you'll get used to it. We all do. Tears streaming down my face, I looked at her. She said I could stay in bed all day if I wanted, but tomorrow you have an early appointment at the salon. I'll help you get dressed, Ethan, but after this, it'll be up to you every day. That night, I peeled off the bandages to see exactly what had been done, and sure enough, I really did look like a girl now. The next morning, I slipped on some panties, noticing they fit much better. My hips felt a little fuller and rounder, while my waist seemed narrower. I picked up the bra, realizing I needed it, and after a bit of struggling, managed to put it on. It held my chests well, and the discomfort eased. Mom came in, watching closely as I sat at my new vanity and applied makeup for the first time on my own. She parted my hair down the middle, letting it hang straight. Finish getting dressed, Emily. Wear a skirt and blouse. We have a long day ahead. I obeyed, and though I felt awkward, I looked just like a girl my age. Mom drove me to a salon where I was seated without a word. The stylist started working immediately while Mom waited across the room. My hair was trimmed, set in small rollers, and treated with various lotions. Under the dryer, I flipped through 17 magazine and had my nails lengthened, filed, and painted a soft red. After an hour, I caught my reflection. My straight brown hair had transformed into wavy auburn locks that framed my face and fell to my shoulders. My eyebrows had been shaped into a higher arch, and my makeup was flawless. Mom paid the bill as I continued to stare at my new reflection. Every trace of my old self was gone, replaced with the most feminine version Mom could imagine. "Have a good year, Emily," said the stylist, hands on her hips. "My daughter was on that tape, you know. I hope you feel as embarrassed as she does." I had no reply. Mom took me shopping, and by the time we returned, my small wardrobe had grown considerably. During lunch, Mom shared more details. "The fine was hefty, Emily, but we convinced the judge to let us use it for your transformation. No matter how you feel, you're far better off than Aaron or Matt. Aaron's at a private all-girls school, starting as a little girl, diapers, frilly dresses and all. Matt's in that military school, but he was too big to be made over as a girl. He does every menial job until he turns 21, wears a skirt and blouse like you do, but nothing to make him look feminine. Since he's always out of uniform, he gets the worst tasks and constant teasing. You got off easy. And if you let it, being a girl can be fun. Can we stop calling me Emily? At least in public? Why? It's your name. Look at me, Mom. Calling me Emily just makes it worse. Okay, I'm a girl now. There's nothing I can do about it, so why not something less masculine? What do you want to be called, dear? Emily. Call me Emily." I looked away and missed the sly smile Mom gave. I now had 4 more skirts, 3 dresses, 3 bras, a dozen panties, a coat, pantyhose, 5 pairs of shoes, 2 slips, 7 blouses, pierced ears, and plenty of jewelry. I also got a makeup kit, curling iron, blow dryer, roller set, 2 suits, a corselet, padded panties, and my own hairdryer. We brought everything to my room, and I was told to put it all away. That night at dinner, Dad asked if I was ready, and Mom nodded. "From now on, call her Emily. It was her idea, Ron. And she's been so good about everything," I agreed. "I'll start the name change tomorrow. She'll begin school Monday as planned." The next day, I could do as I pleased so long as I wore a skirt or dress. Instead of going out, I set up my computer in my room and scanned all my IDs, one by one. I changed the name on each to Emily Elaine Grant and printed them out. Just as the last one came out of the printer, Mom walked in. "Elaine. I like that, Emily. Very feminine." She handed me a wallet and a package of maxi pads. "You don't need these yet, but I want you to wear one for 5 days each month. You can start whenever you want, just try to keep it consistent." That Monday morning, at Mom's insistence, I dressed in a pink A-line skirt and a frilly blouse. I did my best with makeup, grabbed my pink purse, and Mom drove me to school. "Have a good day, dear." "Right, Mom," I replied, my sarcasm barely hidden. If she noticed, she ignored it, waiting until I'd walked into the school before leaving. Inside, I had no choice but to report to the office as instructed. No one laughed, they just took my photo and issued a new school ID with my new name. Some classes were changed too. Since no girls take shop classes, you're reassigned to home EC gym is 3rd period. They gave me a list of supplies and a locker in the girls' locker room. I headed to my first class. Until then, no one recognized me, but as I sat at my usual desk, all eyes locked on me. "We heard they turned you into a girl. Just how far did they go?" Shelley, a constant pain, pressed, "Emily." "Okay, Emily, how far?" I told her she'd find out later and turned away. Throughout the day, people stared. Some giggled, a few guys shuddered knowing it could have been them in a skirt. Overall, it wasn't too bad. A few girls even sat with me at lunch. With house rules banning dating during the week and no permission to leave, I focused on homework. The next day, first period, everyone was sent to the auditorium. This short film is about recent events here. You all know Emily now, and we expect you to accept her, no name-calling or teasing. The lights dimmed, and the film began. Matt appeared on screen, standing on a lawn wearing a short black miniskirt, black heels, and a frilly blouse. His crew cut remained, but bright red lipstick marked his face. His hairy legs and lack of makeup, besides the lipstick, made him look awful. Tears streaked his face as he apologized and detailed his situation. Next was Aaron, in a nursery-like room, dressed in a short satin and velvet dress held out by stiff taffeta petticoats. His hair was styled in pigtails with red ribbons and tiny bells. He wore white ankle socks, black Mary Janes, and a child's harness with a tether clipped on. Holding a small teddy bear, he apologized and bent to reveal ruffled panties over a diaper. The room was silent as the film cut to me. I wore the tan skirt and white blouse, slightly unbuttoned to show some new cleavage. The footage showed Mom and me at the mall, me before and during the salon visit, and afterward. The film ended, and the principal stepped up to the microphone. As you see, all boys involved are being punished. Emily the least, since she wasn't present. But now she's female and will be treated as such. Anyone who gives her trouble might learn some humility. Any questions? We returned to class, and at third period, gym time, I entered the girls' locker room for the first time, gym bag in hand. All eyes followed as I found my locker and slowly undressed. By the time I was down to my bra and panties, it was clear I was a girl, and no one said a word. Later, during shower time, I stripped again, and the girls made sure they saw me naked. Once they realized I looked like them, the tension, mine included, vanished. Rumors started nearly a week later. The most popular one, I was always a girl. I ignored them and moved on. 14 months as a girl was ahead, I might as well adjust. A month into school, a brave boy named Ryan asked me out. My mind screamed no, but my mouth replied, I'd like that, Ryan. What time? When he came over Friday night, Dad gave him a once-over. I'd started wearing maxi pads. The date went well. Ryan was a perfect gentleman. I learned he was funny, and as a girl, I thought he was cute. In public, he put his arm around me, and I leaned in. When he dropped me off, he kissed me on the lips. Can I call you tomorrow, Emily? Sure. Good night. I went inside to find Mom and Dad waiting. Did you have a nice time? Yes, it was very nice. Then I went to my room. I was still a boy, I knew it. And Ryan knew it, so why did he kiss me? Even more confusing, why did I let him, and why did it feel nice? Ryan called the next day, and with Mom's permission, he came over. Mom had started letting me wear shorts, so that's what I wore along with a pink top when Ryan arrived. We talked on the patio, I smiled a lot, and he kissed me again, more warmly this time, and once again, I welcomed it. I was changing on the inside. Ryan and I dated for almost 3 months. He and Dad became friendly. When he asked me to the spring dance, I agreed. Mom got excited and helped me pick out a new dress, shoes, and jewelry. I had my hair styled, and by the time Ryan arrived, I was fresh and ready. Ryan drove us to the dance. Later, we shared a warm embrace, holding each other close. I felt comfortable and happy. I realized then that I was embracing this new part of myself. I forgot to wipe my mouth properly after, and Mom extended my time in skirts by another 6 months. It doesn't matter, Mom. I'm not going back to being male anyway. She smiled and said, then we need to talk about what's appropriate on dates. We had that conversation, and over time, I was accepted by the other kids and grew into a confident young woman. Matt sadly took his own life. Aaron never returned to school, but we saw him during holidays. He wore skirts and blouses, though he hadn't fully transformed yet, and kept his hair in pigtails tied with ribbons. If you appreciated this story and wish to show your support, don't forget to join me on Patreon for exclusive content.